So, you wrote a summary report about multi-family residentials.
Indeed, about the harmful effects and how to defend against them. Now, think about it. Many condominiums are built not only in Hungary but all over the world. Yes, the constructor built them in a way that the kitchen is on the same wall with my neighbor's bedroom. It's right next to it. And I don't even know my neighbor. You know, you saw on the measurements that the radiation is extensively high in the kitchen. I will radiate it to my neighbor and he or she doesn't even know about it.
Why is the kitchen one of the most affected places in our homes? Let's make a list. The reason is because many electrical devices function there. This is one of the reasons because the kitchen technology is improving in an astonishing rate. We measure the effect of microwaves, of different built-in hobs, and probably use the highest number of devices in the kitchen. This is the main reason why it is the most exposed.
It is a risk in a condominium and even in a single family house. So don't design or build a family house in a way that a room full of electrical devices is next to our living place. Also, it is very important what kind of devices we use. I was in Debrecen to measure an almost empty house. I measured very high radio frequency radiation close to the fridge. I asked the owner, "What kind of fridge is this?" He didn't know it. They bought it only a month ago. So I read the user guide. It was a smart fridge. He could even do the shopping on it. Well, it was not that smart. It couldn't make you a coffee, but you were able to control its temperature remotely. But the owner was not aware of these features. He didn't use them. So he bought it without knowing that it will affect him. I buy the induction cooktop and I'm not aware of the radiation load my family will be exposed to. I buy the microwave and it's also a risk. I buy the devices without assuring myself that they will not harm my habitat.
What do you think about smart homes?
I don't see the negative part of smart homes. The idea of a smart home is that we can control everything remotely from anywhere. I don't control each room separately. There's a server room, and if it's well placed inside the house, far from my bedroom and my living space, preferably on the opposite side of the building, and well sealed, then the interior of that house will be even better than that of a traditional architect or constructor because the electricity doesn't run continuously in the wires. It only does when the server gives the order to the lamp to switch on. So it is practical. In this case, we have to pay attention where to place the server room because I will be in connection with it through my smartphone. Only with the server room and not with other parts of the house. The server gives the orders to everything, so it is advantageous to reduce the radiation as well. We just have to design it smartly.
So, as a conclusion, we can say that the advancement of technology is not a problem because it has countless advantages that can increase the living standards. Instead, we should pay attention to its negative effects and we should recognize the ways it can affect us so we will be able to reduce those negative effects.
Yes, there is a simple solution so we don't have to turn our back on technology. We don't want to stop the improvement of technology. We want to build smartly based on plans. We should develop our homes based on plans, whether it's a renovation or new construction. We should plan and execute. There are available low cost options to build or renovate. But customers don't live with the option. If they would live with these options, we would reduce the risks. Not totally, but significantly for sure.
Let's talk about one of your main solution or product group.
Yes, our first developed product focused on building protection. The principle of multiple branches of science, just like ours, is that the bedroom is the most important place in a house to regenerate, to relax, to sleep and to recharge our energy for the next day. Good quality deep sleep will help us to start the next day fresh and fit, with high energy level, which will lead to better results at our workplace. If the place where I sleep and relax is not adequate, I will wake up every morning tired, and even if I sleep 8 or 9 hours, just like here. I have never slept this much in my life, but I feel more tired than with half as much sleep at home. So the conditions are different here. This is why the main focus of our development was the bedroom in the beginning. We can mention here the early days when our prototype was the room protection. I forgot to mention it before. That was a slightly different technology. And then we realized that one room is nice, but we don't stay only in a single room, but also in the living room, in the dining room, in the kitchen, and in other rooms. So let's amplify the defense of those areas as well. But getting back to the bedroom, my living space, and to my resting place, now the living room belongs here as well, because many times I get a rest there. Sometimes I even fall asleep while watching the TV or reading a book. So it is an important room as well.
There are countries and cities where the living space has diminished, and both the daily and the nightlife happen only in one room.
Yes, the quality of my living space is very important, not just in terms of radiation, but in other ways as well. We look at it from this angle. It is very important that we deal with this and we can guarantee a good quality of life. This is why we created a home or building security system. As I talked about it previously, by the 2000s, the technology became advanced enough that it was already marketable, and in terms of sales, it had grown. The measurements also turned out to be such that at home the success could be verified by measurements due to the development of instruments as well. So, since the 2000s, we can say that Electrosmog building security is one of our very important and very reliable products. This is preceded by measurements of electromagnetic radiation, which is measured at different frequencies at different loads. We measure radon radiation, we measure geopathic radiation, we conduct a minimal touch protection survey for surfaces so that we can reveal the radiation conditions in homes. And once those are done, we design the protection system for the building. This protection system is designed and installed at the request of the customer and verified by a control measurement after the installation. Here it is very important that at least 2 weeks must have elapsed after installation for the control measurement to take place. And after 2 weeks, with the control measurement, we can verify that our equipment is working.
I really like one of your sentences. Don't just believe it, measure it. And it's a very important part of the protection that we don't just incorporate something everywhere without knowing what's in there. The first step is always to look, measure with calibrated equipment, officially recognized instruments, sensitive measuring equipment, what is happening, what is in our home, or what is in our living space. But if I know well, this measurement can be done not only in homes, but can be conducted in offices. It can be done in factories, either in fields or even in gardens, right?
Yes, very important and great question. Thus, the European directive stated that from 2016, a risk assessment of electromagnetic radiation is mandatory in all European member states. This only applies to employers, but it is also a very big achievement that we have reached this by making it mandatory for employers to inspect a particular workplace so that workers are not highly exposed. For homes, this hasn't happened yet, but sooner or later it will happen. So not only our home, but also our workplace, outdoor spaces, the playgrounds, or other areas in the environment must be healthy too.